The comment section is going to be really fun for this video. Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake of robertoblake.com helping you create something awesome today. So today we're going to talk about your favorite subject. We're going to talk about spec work. I'm going to go with both sides on this, but I'm going to tell you flat out. Here's the thing. I 110% believe in spec work. I know a lot of creatives, a lot of friends of mine do not believe in spec work, but I think the tone of it is wrong. I think what they don't believe in is working for exposure, which actually I think is a silly thing, but I'll get to that in a minute. But I believe in spec work because I believe in working for experience. I can tell you for anything that I did that I'm good at, whether it was editing videos, right? Whether it was photography, whether it was film, it took hundreds upon hundreds and thousands upon thousands of executions to get good at that, which means that on some level, that meant even when I was just doing work for myself, I was already working for free. The difference is in working for yourself and working for free and doing personal projects, which I advocate for all the time, you miss out on a couple of things. You don't have referrals and references. You don't have a network of contacts that you can go back to. You don't have anyone to vouch for you. You don't have someone to introduce you to people. And obviously you don't have someone else that's part of the creative process, and you're working in a bubble and a silo, which is not a realistic thing when it comes to translating into the real world and doing real work for paying clients or employers. And that's the reality. The only way to get experience is to actually get experience, and no one wants to take a chance on you if they have to pay for you to learn. Thus, you have to offer yourself up for free sometimes to get the opportunity to do work that matters with real stakes on the line, to get the best learning opportunities, and that is what is so important. And that's where I think spec work has a role. If you're an established designer and you're not hurting for clients or for work or for networking contacts, you don't necessarily need to do spec work. I would say though that if Showtime offers you a gig and you can do spec work and have Showtime work in your portfolio, and you were gonna play Call of Duty this week, or you were gonna go to the movies, that you should probably do that free work for Showtime instead, not tweet people about how horrible they are, and then you have that work in your portfolio, so then you can get other network television companies to consider you for work because you were good enough for Showtime. I would say that that matters. It's not about them not wanting to pay you or about them having enough money to pay you. What it's about is, do you want this relationship and everything that it implies? And also, they want to try before they buy. They don't know you. They see your body of work in your portfolio, but they don't know what the experience of working with you is like. I mean, unless they've called your previous clients, they don't know. If you've never done work for a television network before, they don't know if they might like your style, they might like what's in your book, but they don't know what it's actually like to work with you. So maybe before they commit and they invest and they let you manage the branding for a very important high profile property, maybe before they put some real skin in the game, they want to see what it's actually like to work with you. Perish the thought. And again, I'm just using this as a very specific example, and I have reasons for that. But the thing that I want to highlight is I understand why people are resistant to spec work. The design industry is already grossly undervalued and disrespected, and the idea of working for free is very uncomfortable to a lot of people. A lot of people work for free. We usually say things like, okay, doctors and lawyers aren't expected to work for free, but here's the thing. A lot of them do actually do a lot of free work. They do a lot of charity work, a lot of pro bono work, and sure, sometimes it's a tax write-off, but the point is they're still doing it. And sometimes they're doing it even when it's not a tax write-off, and they do things and they go out of the scope of their work. I've seen that personally. I've known people whose lives have literally been saved because of it. And so I would say that before we throw out that rhetoric, that we really address the fact that it's just not entirely true. I think as creatives, we get very defensive about our work. I mean, it's the part of us that's our artist, and I get that. We're very emotionally attached to our work, but there is an amount of practicality. I'm not saying that you need to do free work for everybody that asks or anyone that asks you to. I think though that if you want to work with some of the top brands, or there's someone you want access to, or there's a relationship you want to have, that doing whatever it takes, including a little bit of free work to get that, I think that that is something that you should be willing to commit to. I know people who've said things like, they'd push their friend into traffic for a certain amount of money, or, oh, they'd give their left arm to be able to do this or do that. but yet the idea of doing something as simple as giving up a little bit of their time that they may not have even monetized anyway, to get where they want to be is somehow so abhorrent to them that I don't think they really want to be successful. Because I think if they really want to be successful, if they're really talking about climbing mountains and slaying dragons, then doing free work is easy. Again, if it matters to you. I'm not saying do free work at the expense of taking away money from your family or not paying your bills. I'm saying that the time that you're playing Call of Duty, the time that you're watching Game of Thrones, if you want to trade that time in order to do some work that can scale you into a better position, that can increase your networking opportunities, that can give you work and experience in your book that benefits you, then I would say that that's worthwhile and that you should pursue that. I would say work for experience, not for exposure. Like, the local bakery is not going to give you exposure. On the other hand, the local bakery might give you a few free cakes, and that can actually be very nice. That might be a good deal for you. I don't know. It depends on how good the cake is. So anyway, those are just some of my thoughts. I think that if there's a real opportunity for you to be able to build the right relationships or to do the kind of work that you want to get in the future, that you should pursue that. And if that takes the form of spec work, then so be it. I think that if you're going to do the work, that you should do a great job. You shouldn't just phone it in because it's free, and you should really look at who's in the network of the people that you're doing this for and how you can get access to them. And it's not about the free work that you delivered for them. It's about what kind of relationship you built and what the experience of working with you was like. It's also about the experience that you gained and the things you learned in the process, and you just like tacking this on to, you needed this experience, you needed to grind, you needed to get this done, you needed to have your 1,000 hours put in. I think that that's something that you have to take into consideration and weigh as part of your cost of evolution and growing as a creative and as a business person even. And just keep in mind that even I still occasionally find situations where I'm doing work for free in order to get access to something else that I want, that I value more than the upfront money that I could get for it. It's actually put me in a position where I've made sometimes as much as 10 times what I would have charged in that situation. Filming conferences for free or taking photographs at a conference for free is a primary example of that. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I need to go see if this bakery up the street is still open because that cake thing is still getting to me. Anyway, let me know how you guys feel about spec work. I'm sure you were going to do it anyway in the comment section. Like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other awesome content on the channel. Remember, graphic design videos are usually on Mondays. As always, you guys, thanks so much for watching. And don't forget, create something awesome today.